What? Y'all what? What? Oh, okay, well, cool. Let's see.
What is it?
What is it?
Oh.
Up there! We have to stop. On my
Bad
way!
idea.
I didn't hit you very hard! Too easy! Yes? Pow! Another one bites the dust! Others will take my place.
Oh man, that was my fault. No, oh, I didn't want to use him. Dang it, come on. Can I go back? Man, I gotta load, really? There's no restart? That sucks, okay. Oh wait, there's something I'm hearing. What the hell is that? Hold on, let me check something. I'm hearing a beeping noise. Okay, that was weird. Alright, let's see. Hold on a second, I gotta get set up. There we go.
As good as done! Up there! We have to stop them before they can warn anyone! What is it?
What is it?
Huh? At once. Huh? On my
Now
way!
you've got me interested. Not a bad idea.
Too easy! Yes? Huh? Vile creature!
What a waste of time.
Pow! Another one bites the dust.
And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Yes?
What is it?
Yes?
What a waste of time. And I didn't even take off my gloves. Now you've got me interested. What a waste of time.
Yes?
What is it?
That's
Not a
good.
bad idea.
Please wait a moment, huh? Pow! Another one bites the dust.
All right then. If I have to.
Understood.
Then. If I have to. Now you've got
On
me.
my way!
Wait, why are they
Yes.
not going that way? It makes no sense.
Too easy!
What is it? No chance.
Yes? Bites the dust. What is it?
What a waste of time.
Too easy!
Ow!
Now you've got me interested.
And again. Vile creature. I didn't hit you very hard. Pow! Another one bites the dust. Yeah! I didn't hit you very hard.
Now you've got me interested.
What is it? Huh?
What is it?
Too easy. As
Not
good
a
as
bad
done.
idea. If I have to. didn't even take off my gloves.
Yes?
I didn't hit you very hard! Oh, easy! What is it?
Huh? And again.
What a waste of time.
I didn't hit you very hard! Pow! Another one bites the dust. I didn't hit you very hard!
All right
Understood.
then. If I have to. All right then. If I
Understood.
have to.
I didn't hit you very hard! Pow! Another one bites the dust.
On
Not
my
a
way.
bad idea. If I
Understood.
have to.
Oh, I just hold my phone.
We should go down into the caves and vaults. There'll be more of them down there.
Or maybe we should concentrate on finally getting to Ogre's Death Stronghold, Boindil.
You ignore the offended look on your friend's face and set off, leaving the Orc Mountains behind you.
I noticed that. I could tell this is a PC port.
You have put out a plate of food for the night every evening since Jarun and Andakai joined you on your journey, but still none of you have seen him eat. You decide to pay particular attention to him this evening, to try and find out what is under the helmet. Andakai is sitting not far from the giant, studying the books.
Have you found anything useful yet?
She looks up at you.
You think I will stay and fight if there is a spell in the books that might defeat Nodon?
Yours is the god of balance. Don't you see it as your duty to create a balance between light and dark?
Instead of answering, Andakai rubs her eyes and closes the books.
It's too dark to study. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Disgruntled, you watch the Mager as she walks over to her bed for the night. Your eyes fall upon Jarun and the plate at his feet, on which not a crumb of food is left. You can already see the oasis a day's journey away, but in the glimmer of the midday sun, you're not sure whether it might not just be a mirage. But the twins are convinced that there is a village here, and the prospect of a roof over your heads for the night keeps you going. The nearer you get to the oasis, the more the uneasy feeling grows that something's not right. It's too quiet, and you don't see any movement. Once you enter the village, your fears are confirmed. Your enemies have already been here.
Where is everyone?
Hello? Anyone here?
You all jump. You look angrily at Boindil, who shrugs his shoulders in apology.
This whole thing is probably a trap. We should...
Welcome to Pasnar. I'm sure the citizens would greet you themselves, if they could.
You recognize the elf immediately. You saw him with the leaders of the orcs, and he appeared to you in a dream after Greenglade. Or no, not in a dream.
Sinthras.
So we meet again, Tungdil. What do you think of my work in the vaults? It was a nice start, wasn't it?
An eerie smile sets on Sintharas's lips.
Wonderful. I can see the hatred in your eyes. Come on. Come and get your revenge.
What is it?
Now you've got me interested.
He honestly put up a fight!
Do you think it's smart? Just let him die over here?
And what now?
What is it?
They're hitting me pretty hard! I need help over here! Quickly! Kill! And again!
Who's next?
Not a bad idea. All right, then.
Vile creature! Kill!
What is it?
Now you've got me interested.
Huh?
And I didn't even take off my gloves. What a waste of time.
Huh?
Oink, oink, little piggies!
What is it?
Yes?
Who's next?
And I didn't even take off my gloves. If I had to.
What is it?
He actually put up a fight!
Wild creature!
Huh?
What a waste of time. No chance.
He hardly put up a fight!
All right then.
Yes! Wild creature!
Huh?
And again!
He hardly
What is
put
it?
up a fight!
What a waste of time.
Who's next?
And I didn't even take off my gloves.
And again!
Killed!
If I had to. All right then.
Yes!
I can't do that yet!
And what now?
Not a bad idea.
Of course! Yes,
away.
yes!
Huh?
If I
I'm
have
with you!
to. Not a bad idea.
Huh?
Now you've got me interested.
Retreat! Back! Why are you here? And how can you possibly still use magic?
The one person your master left living is the one you would least like to have as an enemy. Go on, little Alf. Flee.
Your magic saved you this time. But next time, I'll be prepared.
I've had enough of fighting. It's about time we head to your home.
I've had enough too. But we've got several days in the desert ahead of us before we can enjoy a cold beer.
The longer we talk about it, the later we'll get to our beer. Let's go.
Did I take the wrong turn?
The army is too big for you, and even if you could defeat them, the battle would take up too much time. So you decide to march through the night to increase the distance between you and them. The forced march is strenuous, but you manage to evade the horde. The army is too big. You've been traveling through the desert for days. The sand is simply everywhere. In your shoes, under your clothes, in your mouths. Even the makeshift cloths that you've wrapped around your heads is of little help.
But it's so weird. There's no rotate button.
With the last of the energy you can muster, you finally leave the 40-mile-wide sandbar that separated you from Ogre's death. It is as if you've passed through an invisible wall when the raging wind and sand suddenly falls silent. In front of you, an enormous massive towers into the sky, the Blue Range. The slopes cast long shadows over Ogre's Death Fortress, which nestles in the spurs of the mountain. Even from this distance it looks impressive, with its 4 defensive terraces, one above the other. The anticipation of entering a real dwarven city for the first time grows with every step, and you feel the power returning to your limbs. You've almost done it.
My High King, you have called me to succeed you to the throne. Here I stand before you.
Well... Before you are chosen as the successor to the High King, hear, King Gandagar, the challenges that await you. Hordes of orcs are rampaging through the north and the west, and the perished land is stirring. It would seem that the Magi cannot sustain the barriers.
This gives us an excellent opportunity to attack the last elves in Alandor. They are weakened. The perished land afflicts them. Let us wipe out the traitors once and for all.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Hear, hear.
Madness. What are you talking about?
I do not recognize you, King Gandagar, in what you are saying. The elves are inhabitants of Girdlegard. Has your hatred for them clouded your senses to the point that you wish to ignore the words of our god?
Belendalin's gaze falls, as if incidentally, on the King of the Fourthlings' advisor.
Or is someone giving you bad advice?
On the contrary, it was Bislipper who finally supplied me with the proof. A report titled How the Fiflings Lost the Gate. It was the elves that poisoned the brave Fifling warriors in their stronghold. A devious disease spread by the pointy ears in the shafts of the Grey Range.
Impossible! I always knew it!
Treason! I don't believe
They should
that.
pay for it!
To the pointy ears!
Enough! Don't be so short-sighted! We are talking about the safety of Girdlegard. We must reach out and forge a large coalition with the elves. Yes, and even with the Thirdlings, if we are to defeat the perished land.
My High King, you cannot be serious.
Drivel from a dwarf who has grown too old in his post. Are we not here to choose a new High King? We have waited long enough.
It would seem you will have to wait a little bit longer. The second aspirant has arrived. Our guests must be tired from their long journey. The meeting is adjourned till tomorrow.
But why do you think that I...
Everything will become clear. I've had a room prepared for you. Before you take to your bed, please pay the High King and I a visit in the throne room.
Ah, Your Highness!
I think I'll
Don't get...
Tungdil. Come closer.
The power that the old High King radiated when he called the assembly to order has drained away from him. His body is sunken in the throne, but his eyes are alert and interested as he looks at you.
The lost son returns to his people. Thank Vracus. Tell us what you learned on your journey.
You describe your adventure down to the smallest detail. Neither the king nor his advisor interrupts you. From time to time they nod, as though they were already aware of certain facts. Their brows become more furrowed with every passing minute. When you are finished with your story, you also have some questions.
What game is being played here?
Gandagar, as king of the Fourthlings, is to supersede me as High King, but his mind is poisoned with hatred towards the elves. He would probably win a war against them, but he would weaken us, and Girdlegard would not be helped by this. I was hoping for a great coalition with the elves, and even with the Thirdlings. I would have given anything to start the negotiations. In times of great need, only the common goal can count.
And which role have you planned for me?
Well, with you as a second aspirant, certain possibilities of protocol open up to us.
Why is Gandagar so full of hatred towards the elves?
His father and brother were murdered by elves. At least that's what's claimed.
No one knows the truth, just as no one knows how true this report about the Fiflings is. But isn't it strange that this letter has turned up now, just when it can play into the hands of the elf-haters? Many dwarves' hatred towards the elves is great, perhaps even greater than their honesty.
I understand why you want to prevent a High King Gandagar. He would be blind to our real problems.
Gandagar's only liability is that he lets Bislipper whisper dark thoughts in his ear. The advisor is the problem, not the king.
A problem that I am fortunate enough not to have.
The High King smiles weakly at his advisor.
Gandagar is a good dwarf and a good king, and I am certain he could also be a good High King if he was free of Bislipper's lies and false advice.
I don't want to appear ungrateful, and I'm happy to finally be among my people, but I will not ascend the throne. I hardly know anything about our customs and laws. Everything that I know, I have learned from books that Lot Yonan gave me. There must be more suitable heirs than me.
Your renouncement honors you. But to be honest, you never had a claim. To stop Gandagar, we had to stall for time.
Lot Yonan helped us with our little story. We don't even know if you are a Fourthling.
The king's advisor misinterprets your unbelieving gaze and quickly adds,
We're only being as deceitful as goblins for one solitary reason: to stave off possible harm to our people.
You feel as though you've been hit in the stomach. If this is true, not only have you lost your newly found kingdom, but Master Lot Yonan also didn't see it as necessary to inaugurate you in the conspiracy.
Your plan has a flaw. Even if I were to line up, I couldn't win. No one on the council will vote for me.
You don't have to win.
Belendalin points to the Steelies in the throne room.
It's written in our laws that the High King can oppose an heir if he isn't elected unanimously. He can then demand a duel or a contest in order to determine the winner.
Such a contest could take weeks, if not months, and it would win us some time.
What kind of contest would you have us compete in? Gandagar is surely superior to me in many things.
Everyone in the council will write a task on a piece of paper, and from them the contest will be drawn.
And this only once you have made a speech and have won over as many as possible in the council to your side. The more sympathetic the council is towards you, the higher the chances of a contest that fits your abilities.
Speech? You're beginning to like this whole thing less and less.
Is this really the best for our people? If you cannot dissuade Gandagar from carrying out his plans, it could end in a fraternal war.
Don't worry. We'll open up his eyes and he will recognize the malice of his feigned friend. We just need time, and you must gain it for us.
All right then. I'm ready to do it. But I will need all of your support.
You can be certain of it, Tungdil.
Belendalin smiles at you encouragingly.
You say Andakai may have found a way to defeat Nodon, and she suspects that the Magus is possessed by a demon from the Outer Lands. It may be possible to kill this demon with an axe called Keenfire. I have commissioned armor that is worthy of a prince. It will be delivered to your chamber by sunrise.
You say goodbye with a queasy feeling in your stomach. You always thought that you were articulate, but the prospect of having to make a speech in front of the large council doesn't exactly fill you with elation. Vracus, who made the dwarves of stone, has himself been hewn from stone by these self-same dwarves. A masterly piece of work, like one of which only the masons of the secondlings can still accomplish today. The coal fire is lit when the kingdoms meet for council. It has lain dormant much too long, until it was finally lit again a few days ago.
Ah, Tungdil, what is it?
High King Gundrabur seems... well...
Old? He is ancient, even by Dwarvish standards. He has been old for as long as I can remember.
Belendalin has taken care of most matters for dozens of cycles. But Gundrabur always has the final word. His mind is younger than all of ours, I tell ya.
Belendalin should become High King. I was there when a runt took his arm. He still managed to kill half a dozen of them afterwards. What fighting spirit! We had to drag him off the battlefield.
The law requires that a firstling or a fourthling must be chosen as the new king of all dwarves. And, as the firstlings didn't turn up...
For the first time, you have the chance to appreciate the beauty of the place. You suddenly forget what you wanted to say.
I've never seen such masterful masonry. To be honest, I didn't even know that stone could be worked in such a way.
Ha ha ha! The secondlings are the best masons of all the kingdoms. That's how Fracas made us. Well, he made some of us into warriors, too.
Boandal glances at his brother, and he laughs with satisfaction while looking around the hall himself.
The High King and his advisor don't know where I come from either. But they only want to use me to delay Gandagar's coronation and ultimately prevent war with the elves.
Whatever happens, we will stand by your side, Scholar.
You're not sure whether the moral support of your friends will be much use in a contest with Gandagar, but it feels good not having to go through the whole thing on your own.
I think I'll continue to look around.
Don't get lost. And tonight, we will finally drink a lovely dark ale in the glowing anvil.
You can't see the bottom. When the secondlings named the Blue Range their home, there was nothing here but hard rock and a few small caves. Fantastic! Andakai, what is it?
I came to return these books to you, Tungdil. Luckily, I was able to make sense of most of it.
You observed how the Mager took time to study the books during your escape.
They are records from the Outer Lands. They tell of demonic beings from Barren Ground who can take possession of humans and invest them with great power.
Immortality, for example?
The Mager nods seriously.
They speak of an axe forged by the Undergrounders called Keenfire. It is said to have the power to cut through the flesh and bone of the living and completely destroy the demonic spirit deep within their soul.
So you think a demon from the Outer Lands has taken possession of Nudin?
He looked very different when I encountered him in Parista, and he rose from the dead even though you cut off his head. That can't be explained purely through the power of the perished land.
And he wanted to prevent these books from falling into our hands. That would only make sense if Keenfire had the power to defeat him. Do you know these Undergrounders?
I have never heard of the Undergrounders, but I've been to the Outer Lands before.
It must be terrible. The hordes of Tion have marched from there against our strongholds for thousands of years.
It's not as bad as you think. It is certainly safer than a land in which a magus possessed by a demon is on the loose.
Where is this Keenfire?
I don't know if this weapon was ever forged. It requires rare materials and masterful craftsmanship. The purest, hardest steel, stone barbs decorated with runes, a hilt of Sigurdaisy wood, inlays made of all the noble metals, the blades studded with diamonds, smithed in the hottest forge.
We are dwarves. We have the most talented craftsmen.
And you have the Sigurdaisy wood. It is amongst the objects in your rucksack, which is fortunate as there are no more Sigurdaisies in Girdlegard. But even if you manage to forge the axe, it might all be just a fairy tale. It's too little to wager our lives on.
We can get all the missing materials, as well as a gem cutter, here in the stronghold. After all, Gandagar and his fourthlings are here. A stonemason from the secondlings, and I can smith.
The Mager looks at you thoughtfully, and for a short time it seems as though your enthusiasm is rubbing off on her. But then she says,
I wish you good luck, Tungdil.
You still want to leave Girdlegard, but what will happen to your realm and all the other realms?
I admire your optimism, my friend, but it isn't wise to stand in the way of a rolling stone. I don't wish to give up my realm, but I would only be prolonging the suffering unnecessarily.
But
you don't want to let the last Mager in Girdlegard go. Unfortunately, you can't think of anything that could cause her to stay.
Many thanks, Honourable Mager, for all that you have done. A variety of cheeses, pickled cave mushrooms, toasted vault moss, and some smoked sausage. Mmm.
The intense smell of the cheese makes your mouth begin to water.
Garen found an answer to the threat. Keenfire. No matter how difficult it is to forge it, we must do it. We don't know of anything else that could injure a demon. Sigurdaisy wood. Very rare. I guess Lot Yonan wanted it to examine or experiment with.
You are looking forward to the first proper bed for weeks. You undress and lie down. Before you know it, your eyes close and you fall asleep. When your new armor is brought to you the next morning, you can hardly believe your eyes. However, as a smith, you can't stand the fact that you haven't contributed anything to it, and decide to add some inlays.
Even one who wears the armor of a prince. can still be a farrier underneath it, don't you think, Tungdil Bolafar?
What are you doing in here?
Ignoring your question, Bislipur eyes you very exactly before he speaks.
So, you want to be one of our kingdom? A foundling brought up by a wizard? One wouldn't think it possible. And I don't think it possible either. There is no proof of your origin, and Gandagar's the council on his side. Why don't you spare yourself the disgrace and just not turn up in front of the council? Put your scheme to bed, and we will take you into our kingdom. We will give you everything you need your whole life long. In exchange, you support Gandagard instead of challenging him.
Proof? Oh, you mean like your letter that has been found after 1,000 cycles and makes the elves responsible for the fall of the Fiflings?
It is no secret that the elves are deceitful, and what could possibly be more suited to get one over on us than letting the perished land in and presenting us as the scapegoat?
The elves have been displaced by the perished land and are now almost eradicated.
I said they are deceitful, not wise.
And what if I don't withdraw my candidacy?
You wish to stand against your own king? A stray dwarf offending a deserving leader such as Gandagar through his claim? No one in the Brown Range will like that. Prepare yourself for life as an outsider among the Fourthlings.
Children of the Smith cannot be silenced.
You are a dwarf, I confess, but no Fourthling can remember a dwarf child ever going missing.
And you know thousands of the Fourthlings personally, and know exactly where they live in the mountains, what they're planning, or what small tragedies take place in their lives?
You have a sense that all the long evenings in the library and debating with Lot Yonan weren't for nothing, as Bislipur struggles for a reply, then lets it go. You have had enough of this dwarf. He makes you feel uneasy, or worse still.
Get out!
A humanized bastard will not issue me orders. Know your place, false dwarf.
Some of the gold has left a coin-sized mark on the back of your hand. It hurts, but you like the idea that a bit of the metal you love is now part of you. The armor has been made by a master. Over the chainmail is steel plate, alloyed with gold in many places, which certainly appeals to you. There are also several decorative elements made of stone to honor its origin in the kingdom of the best stonemasons. You had just finished setting the last inlay, the seal of Lot Yonan, who brought you up and is gone, when Bislipur interrupted you.
Not only is it worthy of a king and fits me like a glove, but you should also offer me additional protection in battle. That is why I, too, lodge a claim to the throne and why I think I am the more capable heir.
Thank you for your speech, Tungdil Bolafar. The Council may now ask questions.
Yes? Your question?
Just so I get this right, you want to forge a weapon that is described in a book of fairy tales from the perished land to kill a demon that none of us has ever seen?
I have most definitely seen it. Goimgar, Yellow Belly, Shimmerbeard.
No one knows for certain whether it is the solution, but does anyone have a better idea? We have to stop Nodon and the perished land.
That's true, but
It'll work out somehow.
We should discuss other possibilities first. I'm not convinced.
Yes, the dwarf from the Secondling Kingdom over there.
You say that a war against the elves would be madness. But how can such a young dwarf as you judge that? You've hardly seen anything of the world, has he?
It is true. There is much that I only know from books. But it is written that it is our duty to defend and protect Girdlegard, and that includes the elves. And don't the elves have the same enemy as we do? They could stand by us in battle. Why should we play into the hands of the enemy by attacking them, rather than working against the enemy together?
that is true.
He's right.
The words of a clever warrior. But the pointy ears hate us, and we hate them too.
What is it they say again? My enemy's enemy is my friend.
Bislipper?
Nothing you say will convince anyone here. You didn't grow up amongst us, and no one knows if you really are a fourthling. I do not believe there has ever been a more unworthy heir to the throne of the High King. You are just wasting our time.
A new perspective is sure to be good for the dwarves. As an outsider, I will be a breath of fresh air and bring new ideas.
Might be true.
We don't need to be told this by some spring chicken.
We know ourselves what's best. Fresh air? Close the window.
There's no reason to change anything.
I have heard enough. The council has heard the words of both candidates and must now make its decision. Those of you who wish to see Tungdil Bolafar, the returning son from the Fourthling Kingdom, as my successor, raise your axe. And those who wish to see Gandagar Silverbeard from the Silverbeards, the king of the Fourthlings, as my successor. Gandagar has received more votes.
Very good. Ha
ha! Excellent!
Here's to Gandagar! Long live our new High King!
However, the result was not unanimous, and as acting High King, I avail myself of my right to demand a contest between the aspirants.
What is this?
But he won the ballot.
It's the rules. The High King has the right to do so.
Respect! He is still the High King.
Silence!
You have heard the High King's command. Write down your challenge for the aspirants. Are you ready? The one that masters this task first will become the High King. It is an expedition. The trial is to lead a group to forge the axe Keenfire in the Grey Range, which can then be used to fight against the Magus Nod-On.
An expedition into the perished land?
Ha ha! Brilliant!
You can't be serious.
That's what I call a worthy challenge, don't you think?
I call it luck, Scholar. Of all the challenges, Bislapur draws this one.
Yes. Luck.
But, my king, don't demand this of me. Why me, of all people?
You are one of my best gem cutters, and I promise to support him. It should be a fair contest. Or should I break my word just because of you?
But...
You will go, Goimgar Shimmerbeard. Do not put us to shame. Follow Tungdil's instructions. Go! And come back in good health.
And with that, our group is complete.
Who have you chosen as Mason?
Good day, gentlemen.
Bavragar? The old drunkard?
Old drunkard? He assured me he's the best stonemason here. The High King himself sent him.
Well, I said I was precisely the stonemason you need. I didn't exactly say I was sent by the High King.
You let yourself be tricked by a drunkard.
I don't want him with us.
Rest assured, Boindil, I too could imagine better company. But Tungdil gave me his word.
Yes, I gave you my word. And as long as you are capable of doing the stonework needed for Keenfire, you are welcome. Girdlegard is at stake here.
I wish you no ill fortune, Tungdil, but also no good fortune. The throne belongs to me, and through my victory, Vracus will show the clans.
The task is clear to the contenders? The first to forge Keenfire and bring it back here has proven his abilities and will be our new High King to lead us in battle against Nod-On.
It will take months to complete the task. The journey to the Fiflings alone is a long and dangerous business.
Dangerous, yes, but not necessarily long. Do you know the old tunnel system that connects the Dwarven kingdoms?
Tunnels are all well and good, but why should we get there so much quicker under the ground than over it?
A knowing smile plays on the mouth of the advisor.
Well...
Pretty impressive what our forefathers achieved here, isn't it?
The kingdoms all work together. If we do the same, nothing is impossible.
Hear, hear.
I still don't understand why you tricked me and why you were so set on coming with us.
I have been the Master of Stone for more than 200 sun cycles. My work is admired all over Girdlegard. There has never been a better secondling mason than me. But today, I don't want to be remembered as a drunkard with the chisel trembling in my hand, but as Bavragor Amethyst, undefeated Master of Stone, who brought keen fire to life. One last masterpiece.
I hope you understand me asking, but there seems to be bad blood between you and Boindil.
It's nothing that will endanger our mission. We've just always hated each other.
There's more behind it than commonplace hatred.
Bavragor doesn't react. His gaze is directed towards events that took place a long time ago.
You really should rein in your drinking. We need you in good shape.
There are some who say I'm only the Master of Beer and not the Master of Stone anymore. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I can't forget, no matter how much I drink. I wonder why we haven't seen any sign of Gandagar recently. Perhaps they took a wrong turn somewhere. I'm sure we'll reach the Fifthling Kingdom before them.
We're not on the way to the Fifthlings. We are on the way to the Firstlings. We're probably already under the land of the Custodian.
The Firstlings? Why?
The Firstlings have been the best smiths in Girdlegard since the Fifthlings were wiped out. Only they can alloy Teonium and Palladium, which are actually mutually repellent. Anyway, we could use all the help we can get in the battle against Nodon, and... Damn. Goimgar.
It burns!
We won't get further this way, Scholar. What now?
It's all your fault, you imposter. I was nearly killed, and for what?
It is good that you are still alive. We need you for our mission.
So you can steal a throne that doesn't belong to you?
Hatred glints in the gem-cutter's eyes, and for a moment, you think he's going to attack you with the courage of desperation.
I'm not interested in the title of High King. I am trying to save Girdlegard. Even if you don't believe anything else, you must believe this.
I don't have to believe anything. I am here against my will. My own thoughts are my only remaining right.
Enough! Gather up all the materials we can still save. If we manage to reach the Firstlings, we can get anything we're missing there. And it should be less than 200 miles to their stronghold.
After you have gathered together the materials, you begin to search for a way out. And after a sweaty climb, you reach a door adorned with runes. From here, you enter a large cave with a waterfall covering a sun-drenched opening. You walk through the waterfall one after another, and after the unintentional shower, you find yourselves in Wayan, near the enchanted realm of Oramira. You find yourselves on a plateau, and the river, which falls as a waterfall here, hides the entrance to the underground rail network. It then flows past a forest, behind which you can see a wall and tiled roofs. You check the map.
That must be Mithridalia. We'll go through the forest to the city and see if we can refresh our supplies and buy some ponies.
Boindil strikes up song during your hike. A short while later, Bavrigor joins in. But rather than actually singing along, he tries to outdo Boindil with his own songs. When he finally strikes up a love song, Boindil becomes absolutely livid. You take the stonemason to one side and ask him if he's doing it on purpose.
Of course I'm doing it on purpose. I'm gonna make him suffer the whole journey.
Can't go on like this. We can't fight amongst ourselves and save Girdlegard.
You take a short break before you dare breach the roots of the problem.
It's to do with a woman, right?
Not in the way you might think. Smeralda was my sister. A young thing of only 40 cycles.
Bavrigor takes a large swig of his liquor before he continues.
She was almost as belligerent as Boindil, and she got it into her blockhead to stand by him in battle. A bad decision.
You can see the pain he is suffering in his eyes. You place a hand on his shoulder and put him under no pressure to carry on. The constant bickering between Boindil and Bavrigor distracts you. Goimgar hears the clanking of armor first.
Something's coming!
Before you know it, the orcs are charging towards you over a hillside.
Personally. What is it? And again. Vile creature.
Yes?
I didn't hit you very hard. And what now, vile creature? Oink, oink, little piggies! Vile creature! What is it? Kill! And again! Vile creature! Who's next? Kill! Pow! Vile Another creature. One bites the dust! I didn't hit you very hard. Isn't it pretty hard? And again. I have bow and dove. Give me a hand. Looking for enemies? They're all here. Ow. Kill. Another one bites the dust. Don't take it first. What's up? And again, bites the dust. I just need a little. Damn.
fight, were they?
Too easy!
And what now, creature?
And again!
Kill!
Yes!
Creature! Kill!
I didn't hit you very hard!
Take it personally!
Yes?
Too easy!
A bit too much for you, were they? Kill! He only put up a fight!
What is it?
Uh-huh.
And what now? And again.
Disgusting! Vile creature!
I didn't hit you very hard. Yes?
Yes?
What is it?
Uh-huh.
What is it? Oink, little piggies! And again.
What's up? Vile creature! Don't take it personally! He only put up a fight! Bit too many over here!
Who's next? What is it?
Uh-huh.
What is it? Huh? I didn't hit you very hard. And again. Pow! Another one bites the dust.
Don't try
put up a
personally!
Too easy. Who's
Too
next?
much for you, was I?
And what now?
He hardly put up a fight! Kill!
What is it?
Let's go!
As good as done.
Understood. Why not?
On my way.
Vile creature! Looking for enemies? They're all here!
I didn't hit you very hard.
Looking for enemies? They're all here!
Another one bites the dust.
He hardly put up a fight!
And again.
What's up?
Huh? On my way.
Vile creature!
As good as done. And again.
Kill!
All right, horse!
As good as you... And what now?
Yes!
And again!
Too easy! What is it? Huh? Disgusting.
Vile creature!
Yes?
And again! Huh?
Yeah!
Please wait a moment!
And what now?
Don't take it personally.
Yes?
Pow! Another one bites the dust. Oink, oink, little piggies! Too easy!
Were they?
Understood.
As good as that was refreshing. Hey, here comes some more. 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Oh, phew. He means 5 or 600.
Goimgar turns white as a sheet.
That's too many. To the city. Come on!
You flee towards Mifidania, with Goimgar out ahead. The orcs at his back seem to have mobilized unimagined powers in him, and he reaches the gate first, hammering manically against it. He says something and scurries through a small gateway that has been opened to him. Moments later, you also reach the gate.
Get in, quickly!
You push your way through the gate as the first orc arrows slam into the wood next to you.
The other dwarf said we should bolt the gate behind him, but we could use all the help we can get when the orcs come.
That treacherous sissy, where is he?
Boendal and I will look for him. Boindeal and Bavragor, help the city guards in any way you can.
You were certain the two of them wouldn't be much help in the search for Goimgar.
I am glad that the children of Vrachus are here. What can I do for you, sir?
The man tries to give off an air of normality, but he occasionally glances nervously over to the city wall.
This is the biggest human city I've ever seen, after Porista.
You haven't chosen a very good time to take a look at Mifadania, sir, and I don't just mean because of the orcs outside our gates. The winter is only just now retreating into the mountains. In a couple of weeks, it will be spring, and the city will burst into bloom.
The man glances at the city wall once again.
At least, I hope it will.
Have you heard any news from other lands?
Nodon is rampaging through the land with his orcs and the Alpha. The Magi are all dead, and no one has heard any more of the host that moved against Porista. These are dark times, but I think it's important that we don't despair. We must trust in the gods. We have to.
You would have liked to have told the trader that, as well as trusting in the gods, he should also wish you and your companions luck. But that would have just led to more questions.
Farewell, and good luck.
I am glad that...
Farewell.
In the past, travelling showmen regularly put up tents like this in front of Lot Yonan's vaults to draw a little money from the pockets of the servants and the famuli, with plays, vocal performances, and all kinds of fun. After having seen the kingdom of the Secondlings, even this impressive human city is somehow rather disappointing. The only thing that attracts your attention are the oil lamps that line the street. Only a trading city could afford something like that. You only know of obelisks from books, and you didn't expect to see one here. The inscription seems to you to be of southern origin.
There's a whole load of orcs out there, but the walls should hold out. They're quite solid for human walls.
So, have you found the little coward? He must be somewhere in the city. He's too scared to leave it.
All of the gates are bolted shut. The city seems to be secure, at least for the moment. Locked gates also mean, of course, that you can't get out.
I am glad that...
Farewell.
You see some good horses and ponies in the stables. You decide to find out about prices as soon as you have found Goimgar.
The fabulous Rodario.
Cometh, dear spectators, cometh and see! Let the Theatre Curiosum, with its star actor, the fabulous Rodario, the mysterious Nomora, and the genius Magister Technicus Fergus, carry you off to another world. Now see and hear, dear spectators, the truth about Nudin the Knowledge Lusty, who disposed of the other Magi in a most horrifying way and plunged Girdlegard into disaster.
Girdlegard, it will be mine.
Not young.
When you murdered Frala and the others...
To your horror, you realize that you can no longer talk. You feel a lump in your throat, and your eyes begin to burn, as images of the vaults and Synthoras appear in front of you.
I see that my first strike really hit you, Groundling. Oh, how they screamed. If only you had been there to help them.
Before you know it, you are overcome with hatred for those who destroyed your home and killed your loved ones.
By Fracas, I'm going to kill you!
You might try to. And I will take great pleasure in your attempt. Who shall I pick out next, Who amongst your traveling companions means the most to you?
You don't want to take part in the Alf's game, and keep your lips tightly sealed, while you consider your means of escape.
This way!
Was that an elf?
If we're quick, we'll get that long ear yet.
Alarm! Alarm! The orcs are attacking!
Come, we must defend the walls.
He hardly put up a fight.
Kill! And again!
As good as and what now?
Oh, you didn't hit you very hard. Pow! Another one bites the dust. Huh?
Yes?
Vile creature. Who's next?
Killed!
He hardly put up a fight. Vile creature.
And again!
What is it?
What is it?
Who's next? Vile creature.
On my way!
And again!
As good as done.
Kill! Very good. We're able to stop them.
Singulas. You wish it weren't so. But it is clear to you now that the city can no longer be saved.
To the side gate. It's our only chance. Huh?
Don't take it personally. Vile creature.
And what now?
And again!
Another one
He
bites
hardly
the
put up
dust.
a fight. Who's next?
It's locked. We have to open it somehow.
Perhaps we can be of service, gentlemen.
Step aside.
Are you thieves?
Certainly not. We are artists. People with extraordinary talents. Say, friends, as you clearly mean to leave Lithadania too, would you have anything against us joining you?
The fabulous Rodario. Oh,
An admirer of my skills? Who would have thought it? I am indeed the one and only fabulous Rodario. This worthy gentleman here is Fergus, the best Magister Technicus since human thought. And last but not least, the enchanting Namora, whose beauty makes the mayor's roses wither in envy. Perhaps we should discuss the rest when we are out of this mess.
We have a long and dangerous journey ahead of us. I don't think you really want to join us.
An epic and dangerous journey? That sounds like an adventure. And anyway, I have already seen that you know how to handle those weapons of yours. In these dangerous times, a big travel group offers the best protection, don't you think?
I don't know.
The orcs are still surging through the gate and over the wall. You decide that this isn't the right time for discussions.
All right then, let's go.
Let's get out of here. We'll be safe with the firstlings.
The firstlings. The splendor of their halls is said to be unrivaled. And I have heard they have fascinating contraptions, Fergus, that are almost reminiscent of magic.
It's open, let's go.
In the evening, after your escape from Nifedania, you recover from your exertions around a campfire. Goimgar withdraws to a solitary corner. Bavragor devotes himself to his alcohol, and the twins get their smelly dwarf cheese out. Namora and Fergus exchange hugs and kisses on the other side of the fire, while Rodario sits next to you.
Ah, a journey with real dwarves to the stronghold of the firstlings. I'm sure I can write that into my new piece.
I must congratulate you on your skills. I find it hard to believe that it's not achieved by magic.
Aha, thank you, but I assure you it has nothing to do with magic. Just alchemy and accomplished acting. We leave the sorcery to the Magi.
Don't mention them. There's no love lost on Andakai and her walking iron tower.
You've met Andakai the Tempestuous? That is unbelievable. How was she?
She ran away to the Outer Lands. A damn disgrace.
Adakai had her reasons to leave us. She had already fought against Nodon and was unsuccessful. Furthermore, we wouldn't be here without her, and she told us about Keenfire.
Andakai, the bringer of hope. I like that. I'll have to use that in my new piece.
True to his words, Rodario takes out his notebook and writes something down.
Do you know anything about the firstlings? If I recall the map correctly, we need to cross the first large mountains in the Red Range and then pass through Snowdale to East Ironhald Stronghold.
No one has seen the firstlings for hundreds of cycles, but there are many stories about them. Their craftsmanship is much vaunted, and there used to be trade via a narrow path that led into the mountains, but I don't think there is a man living now who has ever walked that road.
Far enough away from Mifedania. Perhaps we should part ways tomorrow morning.
Rodario jumps up and begins to gesticulate ostentatiously.
I think you have underestimated us. Let me introduce myself and my colleagues once more. I am the Fabulous.
We don't have time to look after a pack of jesters.
Rodario seems offended for a moment, but then he grins, turns away from the group, and raises his right arm. A jet of flame shoots out of his sleeve. The dwarves are startled and amazed by the brief spectacle.
And what do you say now, critical Mr. Dwarf?
You're a magus. I don't particularly like them either.
At the Curiosum, magic is my area of responsibility. There is a tube under his arm with a flint and a bag full of Lycopediella seeds. When he firmly presses the bag, the flint sprays sparks and the seeds shoot out. And there you have it. Magic fire.
Masterly work, Fergus.
The Magister Technicus shows his appreciation with a nod of his head.
If they all have tricks like this up their sleeves, well, they might not be such a burden after all, Tungnil.
How are you doing for provisions? We don't have enough.
We are happy to share what we have. It isn't very much, though. We had to leave most of it behind.
Food is sure to be a problem on our journey. Winter's only just beginning to leave Wayan, and people will be keeping a tight grip on the stocks they do have because of the orc attacks.
We have to be frugal and organize as much food as we can. It wouldn't be much of a heroic story if we starved on the way to the firstlings.
Our mission is to forge the legendary axe Keenfire and destroy the traitor Nodon. If you wish to accompany us through hunger, coldness, and danger, then do so. It's your decision.
How could we not partake in such a story? Just think what a wonderful play we could make of it.
If we survive. I was hoping to only resurface once we reach the Red Range. Instead, we have a long journey and a dangerous climb ahead of us.
There may be another way apart from the old trading route. A few years ago, an old man from the north told me of a place called Wackenstein. Apparently, there is an old path there, older than the dwarven tunnels themselves.
Legends and stories. There's too much uncertainty. Let's just see what the next few days bring.
You are walking past an inconspicuous copse as Namora suddenly stops on the spot.
Wait! We are not alone. Someone is watching us.
A trap?
Scum!
What are you doing? Why are you attacking us? We're dwarves too. We're on the same side.
I see honest dwarves here, but they are accompanied by scum. I will free you of it.
Oh, really? And what are you going to do on your own against 8?
You, come here.
What?
Brother! What are you doing?
Boindle, what's wrong? Come to your senses!
It's no use. They belong to me. Now die, scum.
Patience, I'll be ready soon. Even I am not that quick.
Just a minute.
Patience, I'll be ready soon.
I'm not that quick. I'm
Too
doing it as
many
quick as I
over
can,
here.
right?
Even I am not that
Yes,
quick.
yes, so.
Yes, yes, soon.
I'm not that quick. Yes,
Sweetheart.
yes, so. Or anyone. I could do with some help.
I'll be ready
Patience,
soon.
I'll be ready soon.
I don't want to leave you.
I need help over here, quickly. Danger! Your comrade is in danger! Patience, I'll be ready soon. Even I am not that quick.
Huh?
Help! Go
I'm not that quick.
I'll do it like this. I can't do that yet.
Wait a moment. You very hard.
Yes, yes, so.
I need some help.
I am Borda. Give me a hand.
Another one bites the dust.
I'm ready to call it a night again. Dang, I'm getting tired again. Like, I want to play, but I'm getting tired, so I guess I'll continue it again tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Right. Good night.